This is J&T's Backyard Bowl.
Hello and welcome back to J&T's Backyard Bowl. I'm T, and I'm here to run down kind of what's happening politically this week in the shit show administration that we have right now.
And I'm Jay. I'm the co-host who's super bitter about said political happenings going on during the week because, well, I mean, it's a partisan shit show, like you said.
I don't blame you, buddy. I'm a little disheartened as well. It's a rough times right now.
That it is. Dark times, my friend. Dark times. But that being said,
I'm about ready to get right into it. You ready to bowl?
I'm ready to bowl.
Let's bowl, man.
All right. Let's get started with some Backyard Bowl headlines. BYB headlines.
Yeah.
You want to be cool and hip and jiggy with it.
Yeah.
Well, right out the gate, let's just start with this whole Russian disinformation campaign that the Mueller report, the Mueller investigation has kind of like called out.
Yeah.
Like, hey, we can't be like releasing a whole lot of fucking shit. Like, some things need to stay fucking sealed because like they're using this information against us.
Yeah.
You know, to discredit us via Facebook and Twitter and all that jazz.
Yeah, kind of doing the same exact sort of tactics they used that's well known throughout the 2016 election, and now trying to use that same sort of spin with recent Mueller filings with the Stone indictment and everything that went on there. So they're still playing the same fucking games, just in a different way and about different things, but not for the good of democracy.
Oh no, that's the whole thing about fucking the whole Russian fucking, you know, I don't know what you call that fucking campaign.
Yeah.
Really, it's to sow fucking discord and chaos.
Yeah, that's its entire objective.
Which is doing really, really well. I mean, I think we're better at that than you know, to ourselves than they are.
Yeah.
But,
they just put it out there and we do all the work.
Yeah. They've definitely helped it along. They just put fuel on the fire.
Yeah, and it didn't end with this 2016 election. It's probably not going to end with the 2020 election. It's, as you can see,
it's not just us either.
Yeah,
you know, they did the same thing in fucking in the whole Brexit thing too.
Yeah,
I think we talked about that last podcast, didn't we?
Yeah, they're really relishing in how well this tactic, this little shady ass tactic, is working for them. But
super cheap, super easy. Fucking
yeah,
I don't blame them.
Just start up a fucking 100-man troll farm and just put out as much disinformation as you can and see where it goes on the internet. And what do you know? It goes every fucking where. And here we are.
So yeah, that's coming up.
Yeah. Next on the headline list here, we got unfortunately a shady ass fucking sort of racist Virginia governor here, Ralph Northam.
Yeah.
His yearbook photos came up, and they're not boding well for someone you want to be running your state.
Yeah. The old blackface, you know, Uncle Jim type thing, costume with right next to a KKK member.
Yeah.
And I mean, it should be noted, like, you would think, like, with what's been going on with every single fucking, like, time something like this happens, this would be a GOP guy. No, turns out he's a Democrat.
He is a Democrat.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
But he's from Virginia, so, you know.
Yeah.
Not to be, like, statist. Is that a thing?
Yeah, I think that's the right word.
Yeah, statist, but, like, yeah.
And kind of where the whole thing started.
Yeah.
The whole racist uproots of the country kind of gave birth to everything we have.
One of those things, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there's a long history along what goes on with that, though. Like, his whole, like, you know, like, what he did, like, in the timeline of this thing.
Oh, the way he kind of came out, released the pictures, and he copped to it. Yeah, that was me, but that's not who I am. That doesn't represent my values. And he walked it back a little and
apologize.
Yeah, apologized for it, then walked it back, and then now he's, at this point, I think now he's just outright denying that it's even him.
Yeah.
That picture's of him in the yearbook. Like, they looked into it and were like, oh, it can't prove that it's you. So just say it wasn't you. Use the Trump tactic and deny.
Yeah. Like, I think there was a step in there, like, he said it wasn't him, and now he has, like, no knowledge of said picture. I think it's, like, the latest thing. Like, I don't even know where that picture came from. Like, it's definitely not me, and I didn't have any knowledge of it.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, you already apologized. Like,
yeah. You're going the reverse order of the way these things are supposed to go.
Yeah.
You're like, deny, get caught, apologize, resign.
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of order you were taught how this works, but this isn't how it works.
But
and he's not, as of now, he's not going to resign his seat.
Well, that's what he said. But like, we've got like bipartisan fucking support for him to fucking get the fuck out.
Oh, everybody's coming out of the woodwork to say.
You got every single fucking Democrat out there. You got the GOP, because of course, like, GOP is gonna jump on that like fucking flies on shit.
When it's a Democrat.
Yeah.
When it's a Democrat doing or saying some racist shit, of course they're fucking up in arms.
Yeah.
But when it's Steve King, it's, hey, we don't know that he's a racist. We're not
maybe
sure.
It was misconstrued. Let's boo.
Yeah.
I guess we'll just censor him.
Yeah, what's the difference between white nationalist and just a guy who likes white people?
Yeah. White supremacist, white nationalist, where do these words come from? I don't know. It's crazy that those things are bad.
Yeah.
Like, that's okay.
I think we all need to...
A couple months ago.
And we all, right and left, need to band together. When these things happen, you're done. Political suicide mode. It's over. Sorry. Thanks for playing. You either are or were a deeper racist at one point in your life, and you don't get to be in charge of hundreds of thousands or millions of people's lives.
Yeah, it should be noted that this was like back in 1984.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, it's not fresh.
College mode. It's not fresh. It's not like fucking, a couple months ago with Steve King. And Steve King's just sitting pretty. Like, oh yeah, I got censored.
Yeah.
And now I'm going to fucking play the victim.
It's kind of a false equivalency even using Steve King like I am here. But because Steve King has this long, it's over and over again. Every 6 months to 2 years, he says something super racist.
Yeah.
And just walks the racist line really, really hard. And this most recent time he did it, it was a little too hard for even the most racist of GOP.
Yeah.
Representatives.
For sure.
But
I mean, like, you could factor in a little bit of, like, the Democrats, like, kind of eating their own there.
Yeah. As much as I hate that, it's good that the high road they're taking here, that, hey, you just resign, man. Like, we don't need to have a discussion about whether or not you were or are or might be a racist. Like, you got some fucking shady ass shit a number of decades in your past. You're just not right for the party, man.
Yeah, sorry, bro.
You don't deserve to represent people. You don't deserve to be a public servant, is what these people are.
Yeah,
servants,
exactly. But moving on from that, let's get right into some pretty good news. Some pretty surprising news too, considering old Turtle Shell. Fucking
Turtle Mitch.
Yeah. Turtle Mitch. Yeah, Senate rebukes Trump 68-23. They passed this like, hey, no, we completely disagree with you.
Yeah.
Bill that's going to pass, like, when concerning Syria and Afghanistan withdrawals.
Yeah, the whole governed by tweet policy that Trump thought he had there for a minute.
Yeah. Thought he could do whatever the fuck he wants. Well, it turns out, like, surprise to fucking everyone, especially, like, me.
Oh, yeah.
The GOP actually has a line. There's a line. Like, it comes down to, like, actual national security, that, like, okay, yeah, now we're gonna like be like, okay, yeah, maybe he's gone too far.
Yeah.
You know.
Draw a line in the sand.
Yeah.
Trump's a little bit crazy, and we recognize that. Let's give, every time I say this, every time they push back. It's always a good thing when you push back against Trump.
Yes.
Whether Trump's right or wrong, it's always a good thing when the checks and balances that are in place legislatively work and do their job. Because Trump's doing everything he can to tear apart those checks and balances and not be checked by the courts or the legislative branch whatsoever.
Yeah. I mean, every single freaking tweet that he has is indicative of that.
Yeah, it's so authoritarian and just power hungry. It makes me worry for what he would do if he were able to just completely erode these things out of our political system. It'd be president for life.
Yeah.
A scary, scary system.
Banana Republic mode.
Yeah, and not the good kind, if there is a good kind, because it'd be a Russian banana republic in this instance.
Yeah. For sure. That's one of those things where, like, I don't know. I'm super happy that this happened, and they're gonna vote on it next week to like get it into like a full on like to work out the details basically and put it into a bill.
Yeah.
But I mean, like I would like to see like a better type of withdrawal. I mean, like not to say that there should not be a withdrawal, you know, or anything like that. I mean, I think a withdrawal is probably a decent type thing, but. You know, like, you got to make sure that, like, ISIS is defeated first.
Yeah. You got to have all your ducks in a row.
You got to make sure, like, when you're pulling out, like, you're not leaving the job fucking half done, you know?
Yeah. Well, if we could have learned anything from the Obama presidency, that you can't just withdraw super fast and just get the hell out of there all quick and leave this power vacuum open for something like ISIS to take hold and become what it has become over the last decade.
Yeah, exactly.
But it also worries me because Trump doesn't learn. Learning isn't in the toolbox of things he has.
He also does not like to be fucking contradicted.
Exactly.
Good Lord.
But on the plus side, the Senate's voting on things.
Yeah. Hooray. Hooray.
Old fucking Turtle Mitch is out of the shell, and there were votes this week.
Yeah.
So that's good news, especially with, we're going to talk a little bit later about the shutdown.
Yeah,
the looming shutdown.
Were votes actually fucking against fucking, like, the full-on craziness that is fucking the admin. So, like, that's a good sign. Mm-hmm. For sure.
Definitely a positive step there.
And, like you said, let's talk a little bit more about the whole shutdown thing.
Okay.
I'm glad this is only just like a little headline.
Yeah.
Instead of like, 90%.
Well, yeah, we don't have to do a third or a half of the podcast.
I think we only have one more podcast before we get back into it.
Yeah, I was looking at the calendar pre-podcast, and we only have one more podcast to release next week. This time next week to talk about a government that's not shut down.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like I said, they're voting. They're at least. Mitch is out on the floor talking about things, getting things done in some sort of positive fashion, some sort of right step in some direction here. And I hope that that's indicative of the way forward to stop the shutdown, the looming shutdown that's coming.
Yeah. And, like, I mean, it's also indicative because, like, the GOP, like, leaders and everything like that, Mitch McConnell and everybody else, like, they're really kind of pushing for Trump to stay away from the negotiations.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, he's blasting this on Twitter left and right. Fucking,
yeah.
Wall is a wall, blah, 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 like, just fucking going crazy. Like, will not fucking...
The wall rhetoric is amped.
Will not relent. And we'll get into
right
that a little bit more, like, on TanTrumps and whatnot. But, like, I mean... But it's off to a rocky start, but they're making headway.
Yeah, the fact that they're even on the floor trying to get things done is impressive to me. I'm happy about that.
Yeah. The committees are doing what they're actually supposed to do. So that's super cool.
Mm-hmm. So with the shutdown looming here, we're sitting at what this will probably go out Sunday, February 3rd, 4th? I don't know.
3rd.
Yeah. So we're looking at about 12 days. Yeah, 12 days until we shut this thing down again, or the Trump card comes out and you play national emergency games.
Yep.
So that could be a slippery slope.
To be honest with you, like I think the GOP does not want that at all.
They're all indicating that they don't, with the kind of, like you said, isolate Trump away from the negotiations, keep him out of the loop of how we're kind of working in a bipartisan way to figure things out as best we can in the divisive nature of things right now.
Yeah.
So.
Well, because Pelosi is definitely showing some like leeway, like, you know, she's okay. Like, yeah, you all can build some fucking stupid fences and reinforce some borders and do whatever you need to do, like, as far as that's concerned. But we're not doing this fucking signature fucking, you know, T-shaped fucking sharp
That's
fucking
exactly what I was thinking.
Steel slats fucking sea to shining sea bullshit. You know, which, like, he's walked back to, like, you know, 280 miles because, you know,
but
$5.7 billion. Oh my God.
In my mind, that's still just a down payment for the sea to shining sea wall that you get all the way from Texas to California. And if you give it to him the first time, it's going to be harder to not give it to him the second time, and the third time, and the fourth time, and the fifth time, and the sixth time, to where this thing totals out at fucking $30-40 billion or whatever the end figure will be. Which is the reason I think Democrats aren't okay with this. And
well, I think Democrats are not okay with this because America doesn't negotiate with terrorists.
Yeah, hostage takers. Yeah, hostage takers is basically what it is.
Presidential burn. Yeah.
Yeah,
Of course it is.
Yeah, and
sorry if this is loud. Just adding a little bit more.
Yeah, as everyone
fuel to the fire.
As everyone listening to the podcast knows, it's a little chilly lately, so we got to keep the old backyard bull fire going. Otherwise, this podcast is not going to happen.
This will be a Shivercast.
Yeah, Shivercast 2019.
Yeah.
We don't want that.
No.
But we'll see where the wall negotiations go. Like what we said, we have one more podcast to release before this goes in a direction that is going to be uncharted territory.
Yeah, yeah.
Or recharted territory with another shutdown and hostage taking of federal employees.
Exactly. And not to mention, like, fucking just straight up, you know, dicking down the contractors.
Yeah, the ones that don't get back pay.
Yeah. Because, like, they've already been out of work for a month.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, like, I've heard reports of, like, you know, single women or single mothers, like, getting fucking their car repossessed because...
Yeah, your means to get back to that job that says come back a month and a half later.
Yeah.
Or 4 days later.
Yeah, shit like that. Like,
all kinds of stories like that with, like, people that have kids and they got to depend on fucking daycare, but you can't pay for daycare, and you don't have a job, and you don't have a job. Fucking just this thing you got to wrestle with. You can't.
Yeah.
There's no good way to spin a government shutdown.
No.
Whether you want the wall or not. Even if you want the wall, there's no good way to spin let's shut the government down for it.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like, just use the fucking goddamn process that we have in the first place. That's literally designed for this.
Well,
to negotiate things.
I don't it's kind of all in place for a reason.
Yeah.
All these control measures and all these checks and balances.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I don't understand is, like, we're shutting down the government. Like, and if, like, I understand why the Democrats held, like, because to be honest with you, like, I was pretty certain that they weren't.
I was afraid that they were going to give in at multiple dates. It was a 34-day shutdown. That was a long time.
Yeah, exactly.
Week by week.
I understand that why they didn't, and it's because it's such a fucking, it's a key thing there that you can't fucking set this precedent of, like, yeah, I'll just fucking keep fucking people, like, from working. You know, I'll shut down the government to get what I want.
Well, you pass an appropriations bill and fund the wall, give the 5.7 bill, and you just rewarded bad behavior. Mm-hmm. And like I said, it's not going to be the one time he's asking for money. The next time, maybe it's 1.6 million or 2 million federal workers.
Or
vast amounts of agencies that need money that are we
it
depend
might
on
be
way
a
more
full
than these.
fucking government shutdown.
Yeah, all the way government shutdown. We've been down that path before, and I don't wish to revisit that.
Yeah. I'm not gonna pay the military until you fucking pay me on the wall.
Yeah, like this time it was just the Coast Guard. If it were all 5 branches of the military, can you imagine?
Jesus.
Amp those numbers up and turn all that up and factor in all the economic factors that come into play there. It gets really crazy really fast, and I don't think it's a precedent we want to set. I did see, though, Chuck Schumer this week talking about a bill to end government shutdowns altogether, to make it not a possibility anymore.
Yeah, that's not Schumer though that introduced it. There's a couple. There's a GOP dude, and then there was a I can't remember their names.
I know it had bipartisan support.
Yeah, both of them do.
Yeah.
But like,
I don't see why that's not passed tomorrow.
I like the one that the Democrat put up. He put this up during the shutdown, actually, and they did the real sciencey fucking type thing where they like worked real hard to get a good acronym, and it's called the Stop Stupidity Act or something like that.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. I like that, you know, and I really hope at least one of them, be it fucking GOP or fucking, you know, I mean, as long as the GOP one is not like, you know, like, oh yeah, fucking, if it shuts down, then fucking like all Democrats have to fucking, you know, get fired.
I know there was something in the works that they had proposed saying all of Congress and the president and the vice president all forfeit their salary for the duration of future shutdowns if they happen to potentially avoid that. But there's an even stricter measure that they had proposed that said you can't do it. It's not even a possibility. This hostage-taking scenario that Trump's sort of embraced, set the record for longest shutdown ever. That's not a fucking accident. That speaks to the incompetence of this administration.
Yeah,
is what that does.
Incompetence,
it's
or
Trump
just straight up
casinos.
stubbornness.
Yeah, it's the everything Trump's ever done. He fucks up really bad.
Yeah,
I get it. He's a billionaire. Cool. You got these hotels. Well, everything else you ever touch fucking failed. Universities, casinos, stakes, every airlines, every fucking thing else failed. What do you know? All of a sudden, we had the longest shutdown ever. While you're in charge.
Sad fucking government to that.
It is. We weren't gonna talk about the shutdown this long.
All right, let's move on then. Let's take us a little bit out of American politics a little bit.
Yeah, something we usually don't do.
I mean, it's still tied in hardcore, but is this yours or mine?
It doesn't matter.
All right, well, I'll talk about it. Pretty fucking strange turn of events that I was not expecting out of fucking Trump.
Yeah.
Considering he's so beholden to Putin. America actually took sides with a large majority of the rest of the world in backing the Venezuela leader of the House, Guaido.
I think it's Guaido.
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 Yeah. Guaido. I don't know. But either way, opposing Maduro.
Yeah.
Which is a lot easier to say. But yeah, so Maduro's been fucking up that country ever since Chavez died. Right? Yeah. When that's like everything, every time fucking, you know, AOC gets brought up, you know, Venezuela, and the fact that it was a socialist, you know.
Yeah. I was commenting earlier that Fox News cannot say AOC and not say Venezuela in the same sentence. They've made it evident that they cannot do that.
Yeah, no. Like, if you say AOC, Venezuela gets brought up.
Yeah. It's either within in the same sentence or in the very next sentence.
It's pretty funny. It should be noted that, like, you know, before Maduro took over, like, Venezuela was doing really, really well.
Oh, they were thriving.
Yeah. It just goes to show you that, like, yeah, like, you know, any system will work as long as there's not corruption.
Yeah, well,
right now.
Once you induce corruption, it fucking slews everything to the furthest extent and fucks everything up. And
Yeah,
so,
like governments get shut down and stuff.
yeah, exactly. That's exactly what we're hitting at here. Is that it's real easy to say socialism is a total failure, and look at Venezuela and be like, yeah, see. But there's 24 other countries out there practicing systems like Venezuela without a socialism that is so corrupted by a fucking Mad King type Maduro character.
Dictator.
And there's 24 other countries out there that are running like the United States without a Trump that don't shut their government down for 34 fucking days.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
they don't not pay the federal employees.
Yeah.
There's countries all over the fucking world that run in many different ways that this shit works on one far scale or the other far scale in a good way for everyone. But when you induce corruption, this shit doesn't work anymore.
Yeah. Corruption and ego.
Yeah.
Jesus.
The
But
two worst things.
Either way, this was really, really interesting because I was not expecting Trump to take the anti-Russian stance.
Yeah.
Because Russia's been fucking dumping money and sending over fucking mercenaries and, you know, fucking those crazy fucking airplanes.
And
like
they were quick. When Guaido swore himself in as president, they were quick to endorse Maduro as the legitimate president.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's because Maduro's been fucking getting loans from Russia and China for, you know, the last, like, 5-6 years.
It sounds
like,
familiar. It sounds eerily familiar.
Yeah, weird, huh? But it's just a lot more work.
Yeah.
Like the entire country's in fucking massive amounts of debt to those folks.
Yeah.
There was talk of like a Russian jet landing and like a good couple hundred tons of like Venezuelan gold getting loaded up. Like, here, take it.
Yeah.
Fucking like this is for like the fucking couple hundred fucking Russian mercenaries that we got on the ground to fucking
Yeah.
you know, keep the peace.
Yeah, just kind of
quote unquote.
keep us afloat until we figure this whole thing out and
Yeah.
figure out how to run this thing like a dictatorship
Yeah,
instead of any kind of a democracy or republic.
So right now, like, America has decided to impose sanctions on their oil, which is like the main source of income for
Yeah.
Venezuela. That's one of the reasons why they got into that issue in the first place. Is besides like, you know, Chavez dying, you know, the economy went to shit, and so did oil, and so they lost a large amount of their fucking income.
That's when everything sort of, the house of cards, so to speak, sort of fell.
Yeah.
Is when the global economy tumbled, and their primary oil revenue went along with that.
Yeah.
Everything just sort of fucked up, and it didn't help that you had a corrupt socialist fucking dictator. Socialist and dictator can't work. Those two things can't work together.
No.
Capitalist and dictator can't work together either.
Yeah,
dictator doesn't work with a system that works for everyone.
Yeah.
So,
No, it doesn't.
But I don't know. We'll look and see what happens in Venezuela, and kind of, I'm enjoying that we parted ways with Russia on something, that we're not seeing things exactly the way Vladimir Putin sees things.
Yeah.
That's always good news.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see some, like, you know, a little bit of trickle of, like, anti-fucking anything, like, bad about Trump trickle out of old WikiLeaks.
Mm-hmm.
Or, like, just happen to be leaked on the web somewhere, somehow. Like, hey, yeah, like, just remember who's your boss.
Yeah.
Like, I know what you're doing. But, like, I mean, then again, this could just be like, hey, look, guys, like, I swear. Like,
that's what I think it is. Is
Yeah.
just a diversionary. See ya, I'm not a Russian asset. That FBI investigation they opened up on me was for no good reason. I don't always agree with Vladimir Putin.
just on super big things like fucking NATO,
Yeah.
you know?
Only when he's around, or when it's things that are in direct impact to his influence within his region.
Yeah.
But that pretty much wraps it up for the Backyard Bowl headlines. You ready for our least favorite, but I don't know, most depressing topic of the podcast?
Yeah, it's the one that leaves the worst taste in my mouth. And hey, hip and jiggy, it's BYB headlines.
Yeah.
Get
BYB.
it right.
BYB headlines.
Get it right, old man.
I have trouble.
Yeah,
I'm still getting used to calling this thing a pod.
It's a cast, not a
Well,
pod.
we've been down this road before, and
All
it's
right.
definitely not a cast.
Moving on. It's time for TanTrumps. You want to take the first one?
Yeah, I'll take the first one. I already used the depressing. God, it doesn't get worse than this. So, once again, he's completely denouncing global warming. What the hell's going on with global warming? Please come back. He put out in a tweet the other day.
Yeah.
Because as everyone in the continental United States right now knows, temperatures took a huge spike over the...
Fucking cold.
Yeah, it got really fucking cold, especially throughout the Midwest and the East
zebras
Coast.
died, FedEx employees died, students died.
Yeah, and the last I heard, I think 11 or 12 people just died in their homes, no electricity. And pretty serious deal, a good reason to kind of not mock the climate scientists and say, please come back, global warming, we need you. Like,
Well, yeah, because it should be noted that like the reason why the polar vortex happened was that like massive push of fucking warm front from up north happened unseasonally. It's not supposed to happen like that.
well, it probably wouldn't without the massive amount of polar ice caps melting at a rate that's unprecedented.
Yeah. Well, you had a massive fucking warm front up there because fucking like the climate's in disarray, and like this tweet right here goes to show you that like fucking Trump doesn't understand the difference between climate and weather.
Yeah.
Like,
It's the prime example. Everyone that doesn't, I don't want to say agrees, but knows that the scientists that do this research know what the fuck they're talking about and are doing it for a good reason.
yeah,
It should be adhered to and listened to for a good fucking reason.
you would think, but no, we have to listen to, or like we should listen to the fucking, the politicians that get paid by oil companies.
Yeah.
They know better.
Which boggles my...
Certainly
boggles
not
my mind.
the people that fucking go into science because of science sake,
Yeah.
or as fucking the GOP and just like the right leaning fucking media will tell you. Oh yeah, no, like they're going in for the big science money.
Yeah, that big science money that we've touched on a few times.
Yeah.
Those billions of dollars of science money.
Big
Definitely
scientist
not
dollars.
that big Exxon Mobil or that big BP or that big Shell fucking money.
It's definitely not to just get reelected, like,
With-
your whole job depends on it or anything.
Yeah, that's the part that boggles my mind is, while I disagree with the congressional leaders who vote against measures to control this type of thing or anything that pushes back against big oil, because they're getting fucking money from big oil. I disagree with their stance, but I can understand why they're doing it, because they're getting hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars to say that or to not vote whichever way is going to affect that.
Like, you're in a right-leaning state, and for some stupid fucking reason, which I kind of blame fucking Al Gore for, and also just like general fucking, partisan politics. It's not cool to be a righty and be green.
Yeah, you're kind of outcast at that point.
Yeah, you can't be GOP and be green, at this point in time. Because
Yeah.
if you are, you're going to get primaried as fuck.
Oh, they're going to devote
know?
every fucking dollar to make sure you do not get... They'll get a guy in there that believes Jesus is going to take the wheel and fucking control this whole thing, and the earth will rebound because it's not that affected
Because
by
Jesus.
man-made.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jesus said so.
Yeah. It's cool.
Yeah.
Jesus got us. But yeah. Next up on the list. God. That just pissed me off so bad.
Yeah.
I can't
know.
even.
It's a tough pill to
So-
swallow.
So this is a little TanTrump here. Once again, he fucking attacks Blumenthal. The whole Danning Dick fucking comment. His fucking, old nicknames coming out again.
Yeah.
Fucking God. And this was kind of out of left field, really. I'm not even quite sure why he fucking blasted him so hard.
Yeah, I was trying to kind of figure that out myself.
He must have saw some sound bite on fucking Fox and Friends or on Fox News somewhere.
I don't watch enough Fox to figure out why he might say something like that. I know they have like a sort of a history of pushing back against each other and be outspoken against each other's viewpoints, but for him to just out of nowhere attack Richard Blumenthal.
Yeah, because it was like sandwiched in between like the fucking crazy like, oh yeah, fucking we need more global warming because it's cold, and like some other like, oh no collusion fucking tweets or something stupid like that.
Yeah, witch
But-
hunt.
Yeah, which
We get at least one or two of those a week, I think.
yeah, if not a day, Jesus. But yeah, so a little that was a little fucking tantrum right there. Why don't you hit us up with the next one?
Yeah, so another book's out. This time, the title of the book this time is Team of Vipers.
Ah, yeah.
Cliff Sims is the author, and he was a member. He was a member of the Inner Circle, but as soon as he released the book, he's a gopher. He's just a coffee boy. He's a mess. That guy he didn't fucking know anything, or we didn't even talk to him. He was just in the
I don't
back
even know
office
who
somewhere.
that guy is.
Yeah, we stuck him in a janitor's closet somewhere. Didn't talk to him at all. He didn't know shit.
Yeah.
And there's pictures out there of fucking Cliff Sims and Trump and
Like sitting there walking through like fucking, one-on-one, like on the like, that hallway, that
Yeah.
iconic fucking hallway.
yeah, that you have pictures of every president since the
Yeah,
40s.
Like, that one that like take, and it's like fucking legacy mode.
Yeah.
Like doing a deal between you and your like Secretary of State. No, it's in him and fucking Cliff Sims sitting there fucking getting into shit like super deep talking like, oh yeah,
Yeah,
So like yeah, go for my ass,
right. And this book
Whoa.
pretty much outlines
so to speak.
just the disarray and the dysfunction within the administration, and how the White House is a total shit show of information, and how it's passed on, and how everybody kind of
Yeah.
has to figure things out in the chaotic environment that they're living in there.
I gotta say, like, remember how I used to say that, like, I really felt AOC because she was like on my level.
Yeah.
Like, like she has worked the same jobs I've worked.
Yeah.
Like she's the same age as me. Like she's like the same tax bracket as me. Like she understands what's going on in my life.
Yeah.
Because she lives basically my life. Like not now, obviously, because she's a senator.
Yeah.
But like for the most part, like yeah, like you've been there, done that. So like from that book, I just read a little excerpt of it. Turns out like Trump's really, really, really obsessed with TVs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So like I gotta say that's one thing that like Trump and I have in common, because I like my TVs.
Oh man. Yeah.
So like I mean I guess he's got like a bunch of fucking TVs up in that place, and he's got like the best of the best.
You and Trump have something in common.
Yeah, I mean we're both humans. Maybe.
Humans.
Maybe we're both humans.
Maybe.
I mean, like 60% possibility that we're both humans.
That's lowballing it.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I know I'm a human, but like,
No
But, yeah.
guarantee on that end.
But at the same time, like he does have like like him and I are both fucking super fucking obsessed with having really really good TVs.
Yeah.
It's just that like he spends more time devoted to TV than his job.
The problem.
And I can't afford to do that because I'll get fired.
Well,
You
you
can't get fired.
You have the awesome TV up here in your oval J office, to speak. The
It's
good thing is here is you don't watch Fox and Friends on it.
Oh no, I mean
Fox
like
and Friends does not get viewed on that beautiful television ever.
no, I will never taint that beautiful set piece
Yeah.
with anything like that.
I'm glad.
But like,
I'm very glad.
there's another thing coming though. I mean, that was like a purchase like 10 years in the making.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like that took me a long time to get.
Oh yeah, well worth it.
You know, and yes, it was well worth it. Like, but like this dude is, I'm assuming, spending a lot of fucking taxpayer money to put like as many TVs as possible
In the White House.
in the White House.
That
Like,
doesn't surprise me.
Custom fucking TiVo. He called it Super TiVo.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Does not fucking surprise me at all. And Fox is on in every room, in every fucking corner of every fucking office, and that's all that ever plays. And it kind of explains why he was quick to blast the Fox reporters this week with the...
Oh yeah, into our next TanTrump.
Yeah.
Right there. Fucking, which was surprising, man.
He doesn't usually have a bad word to say about Fox.
No.
So I'm happy. It's a TanTrump, but I'm happy about this TanTrump.
Yeah, yeah.
If you're going to say something bad about Fox News, I find, yes, bitch and complain and whine and throw a TanTrump all day if you want to. Because there's media outlets to be spoken about that deserve your criticism, and that's one of them.
Yeah, but I think, like, I think they actually didn't deserve the fucking criticism this time around.
No, I don't think this time they did.
Yeah, like, I mean, like, yes, like they spoke the truth, and then they got criticized for it. And, I mean, I know that they were shocked, because, like, I think what really happened is, like, some facts got leaked through the Hannity filter, you know?
The alternative fact checker wasn't doing his job.
Yeah, like somehow, some way, like he let some fucking shit like fucking filter through.
Yeah.
And these two reporters that were doing the thing at the time, it was like Turner and Roberts or something like
Yeah,
that.
I think that's them.
Yeah, so they had that shit come out. Like, you know, they reported on something, and I forget exactly what it was. It's kind of unclear on exactly what they were talking about, but good lord, did fucking Trump blast the fuck out of
He
him.
was quick on Twitter that morning to tell Fox they didn't know what the hell they were talking about, and they were misinformed.
Yeah, they were worse than fake news, apparently.
Yeah.
Which we all know what fake news is, and that's CNN and MSNBC.
Yeah.
And anybody that says anything negative.
Surprisingly enough, this time it was Fox reporting,
Yeah.
doing one good deed and sort of reporting accurately something for once in their fucking lives.
Let's face it was probably on accident.
Yeah, it probably was on accident, but I'll take it. I'll fucking take it.
Yeah.
It's all day long. I'm not gonna... I hate Fox News. I watch it a little bit, but to see Trump hate on them a little bit was like a good taste of their own medicine.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
And you know that they were fucking shocked and appalled that happened. Like,
Yeah.
how dare you attack us? This is not right. All in caps.
Yeah.
Like, fucking...
Dear leader fucking had something bad to say about state news.
Yeah, like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
No, you don't do this. We're fair and balanced. It says so in our title, our subtitle,
Right.
or subtext. I don't know what that's called. What is that called? Is it subtitle, subtext,
Yeah, slogan,
slogan,
whatever the hell they say it is.
or
It's
saying? I don't know. Whatever.
saying what it's not is what they're doing.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's whatever their fucking slogan is. It's not. It's not accurate. That's for certain.
Exactly. What's next up here on the tantrum list here? So apparently now it's 3 caravans
Oh god.
are all coming.
3 fucking caravans, man, because he's taking a fucking page right out of, like, he thought that it worked so well because, like, you know, they didn't lose the House. Oh wait, no, they did. But they didn't lose the Senate.
Yeah,
you
the
know?
Senate.
So, like, yeah, so the caravan thing. We're back on the caravan.
We did this back the last fucking time, and the last time before that, and the last time before that. Every fucking time they're about before midterms. Now there's a big caravan. Wait, no, now there's 2 caravans 2 days before midterms, and the biggest ones ever.
Yeah.
But now it's 3 caravans, and we have a little under 2 weeks to go until the looming shutdown that we've already talked about, and he's fucking doing this caravan ramp up demagoguery bullshit that he fucking always fucking does every time something's on the line for him to lose or win.
Yeah.
There's something to be very, very scared of if you don't get what you want.
Yeah. if I don't get what I want, these caravans are gonna come up here, and they're gonna fucking ruin the country.
Yeah.
These 3 caravans. Doesn't matter that this has been going on since the Bush era.
Yeah.
Caravans have been going on since the Bush era.
Oh,
It doesn't matter.
Well, probably
that, like,
probably before that too.
well, I mean, like the earliest reported one.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
That we can tell was from the Bush era.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter that me talking about caravans all over the goddamn news actually fucking extenuates the fucking caravans and causes more people to fucking join them because they see it on the news and they're like, oh, hey, yeah, that's a good idea. I should probably join that. I've been wanting to go, but it's really dangerous to fucking go all the way through fucking Mexico.
Yeah, I'm not going by myself.
Yeah, no.
But with
yeah.
a few hundred people, shit.
Yeah. Like, I'll just join that. That's cool.
Yeah.
We'll all be safe together, you know? So like, he's really causing, once again, his own fucking crisis.
Yeah.
And he's hoping that it'll solve it. I'm like, at this point, like, with how ridiculous he's being about this shit, I'm waiting for him to come out with, like, some, like, oh, yeah, no, there's zombies in there.
Yeah.
There's zombies, and there's also vampires.
Hey, you thought caravans were bad? Well, now we've got zombie fucking vampire caravans with Al-Qaeda.
Yeah.
Like,
Also ISIS.
and they've made an agreement to only attack Americans.
Yeah.
They don't attack each other. The zombies don't attack the vampires don't attack the zombies, and the Al-Qaeda doesn't attack anybody except Americans. And it's like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah.
You can't just self-engineer this crisis and ramp it up so fucking hardcore every single time you're starting to not look like you're going to get something you want. And eventually, even the hardcore supporters have to recognize this for what it is.
Well, I don't know, man.
Just a fucking scare tactic bullshit. Give me my 5.7 billion.
You know, I mean, like, these are the same people that think that, like, you know, when fucking people come over here and claim asylum. Oh, okay. When people come over here and claim asylum, they just get, like, a big old bag of cash. And then they get on fucking Medicare and Medicaid, and they just, like, they get everything handed to them. Like, they think that happens, and, like, it's like a drain on society. That's what a large majority of these people think. Like, so, like, when you tell them, like, oh, no, these caravans are coming, you know, hundreds of thousands of fucking ISIS vampires are coming, you know, these ISIS vampires are gonna not only take your fucking, healthcare and fucking, you know, Medicare and fucking your food stamps away because, like, they're gonna steal them all up, but they're also gonna steal your blood. You know, like, it's one of those things where, like, they don't really understand, like the numbers behind things.
Yeah, and in part, social media plays a big factor in just spreading misinformation, checks written out to people that aren't even. I think it was the last one I saw was like whatever Canada's doing with asylum seekers, and it was a check written out. It was a large, you know, it was a monthly type of Social Security type of check. Fucking little safety measure to keep people afloat until you fucking, when you go that far of a distance to kind of get on your feet somewhere, you need something to kind of prop you up a little bit just until you work everything out, get a job, get stable. And you see a lot of that online on social media, just spreading misinformation, saying like, look what they're taking from us, but we don't care about our, whatever it is we should care about more. And it's not even an equivalency. It's not a false equivalency. It's not even an equivalency because it's not a check written by the U.S. government. It's the Canadian government, and they seem to be doing fairly well with the way that they're handling everything. But the misinformation is a real problem with that type of thing that you're talking about.
Oh yeah, it's super, super bad. But it's not worse than this last TanTrump.
This last Trump's the worst of the TanTrumps.
Yeah.
I'm going to be really glad we're done with TanTrumps after this last one.
Yeah, this one makes me want to throw up a little bit.
Yeah.
I might just do it. Might throw up a little bit in my mouth.
Yeah, I'm not going to blame you if you do. It's pretty sickening. The outright dismissal and mockery that Trump made this week of pretty much three of the key figures in our intelligence community, so to speak. Gina Haspel, the director of the CIA, Dan Coates, the director of national intelligence, and Christopher Wray, the FBI director. So these three people came to Capitol Hill this week. They testified pretty much, to sum it all up and kind of cliff notes it for the listeners here, in disagreement in every way and form that you could with the president's stance on what threatens American everything, democracy.
When it comes to foreign policy, yeah, every way, shape, and form.
Yeah. And in the tweet, I think he used the word naive, and they need to go back to school.
Naive and passive.
Passive, yeah.
And they need to go back to school. They need to go back to spy school, apparently. Because, like, these are the motherfucking, these are the people that fucking run the multi-fucking billion-dollar fucking agencies, budget agencies that fucking, people are fucking devoting their lives to.
Yeah.
Like, people are dying over some of this information.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, these are people that are fucking, like, true fucking patriots.
Yeah. In giving their entire lives, their whole career to public service into something that you get zero recognition for because you can't get recognition for doing these types of things.
Yeah, because you're a goddamn spy.
Yeah, we can't divulge the type of information that would get you the credit that you really due, but you can't tell them. You get a pat on the back at the end of the fucking day.
Yeah.
You go home and you sleep well at night because you know deep down that you saved American lives somewhere on the planet.
Or if you die somewhere on the planet where you're not supposed to die, I get a fucking, what is it? What is it like?
It's like the star in the...
Yeah, the star.
The star in the CIA headquarters.
Yeah, where we can't fucking acknowledge that where you died.
Yeah, but hey,
your name, you
did a good job, and this is all the recognition you're ever gonna get.
Is a star.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like apparently, Trump knows better than them.
Yeah, they need to go back to school.
Like the president who gets all the information from the intelligence community. Somehow he's getting intelligence from somewhere else, and tells the intelligence agency, which is the sole job to inform the president of how things work, knows better than said intelligence.
This is the most counterintuitive line of thinking I've ever heard in my fucking life. That's why it's the most depressing and discouraging tantrum of the week, because
this is just...
Dude, you have to rely on your experts. These people are experts in their fields.
Yeah, it's really fucking awful. Let me just add a few more of them.
And
a few more logs to the fire here.
To me, it's, why are they not to be trusted? The guy that goes on Twitter and lies on average fucking a dozen times a day and has the biggest brain and uses the best words and knows better than the generals and fucking contradicts himself at every fucking turn and can't put together more than 3 sentences that don't kind of seem to intertwine with each other in a way that doesn't mold well. Somehow knows better than the intelligence experts who've devoted their entire lives to this?
Yeah, I mean, like, he spells weather wrong, for Christ's sakes.
I know.
I mean, this is a man that fucking... This is a man that is so fucking obsessed and ego-driven that, like, when somebody fucking contradicts him, they're obviously in the wrong and they're stupid. And
you just became the enemy of the state.
Yeah, and they need to die.
Yeah. It worries me for how much longer we can live in this in a democracy where the leader of said democracy thinks this way. Because this is not viable. to not rely on the people who do know things. I get it, you don't know things, but you vowed to drain the swamp and you knew the best people. Well, it turns out you didn't drain the swamp and you don't know the best people. In fact, you know at every turn that we get a replacement for your bad people, we get a worse person.
Yeah.
But now you're taking the people who are actually the best people and completely dismissing their opinion on things that matter on a global scale.
Maybe I'm wrong about this, but like, are all those his like appointees? Like, doesn't he appoint those people?
I think Ray and Haspel were definitely his appointees. I'm pretty sure Coates was there already, and he just hasn't been fired.
I'll probably be fired after this.
might not. Well, it might be a James Comey part 2, where, hey,
Yeah,
disagree with me? Not willing to let some things go that you don't want to let go?
I know. I read an article about. I mean, like, you know, it's one of those hearsay leak things. But sources in the White House says that he ranted and raved about fucking Coates during that whole thing.
Yeah.
Like, just ranted and raved about it and was super pissed.
I don't understand how you can be so mad about information.
Well, like, I mean, it's one of those things, man. Like, when you have a fucking, what's the word?
Authoritarian?
It's not authoritarian.
A
It's
mindset.
not a nihilist. It's a fucking...
narcissist.
Narcissist, yeah. When you have a narcissist, they will literally fucking, you know...
There's no extent that you won't go to
Yeah, like...
to be petty as fuck about...
Yeah, like, they will fucking, like... I mean, and it's something that they do, like, on a fucking, like, unconscious level.
Yeah.
Where they will just fucking, like, they will mold the world into their own viewpoint.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean,
So
it's not... You're not fucking being... You're not losing your morals when what you're doing wrong you don't view as wrong.
exactly.
Yeah, even if it is breaking laws or international treaties or going against the fundamentals of democracy, if you
Or
don't
treason.
view treasonous type of behavior, if you're pulling all of those stops out in a fashion that you don't fundamentally to your core believe is immoral, then what's the difference
Yeah, exactly.
between what you're doing and whoever else did whenever they did and thought they did for the right reasons? It's a right reasons type of mindset that with a narcissist in charge is very dangerous and very fucking scary.
Super fucking dangerous. Mm-hmm. With that being said, I think it's about time to talk about who's going to challenge him in 2020.
Yeah.
I think it's about time to talk about the 2020 runner rundown.
That crowd's getting ever more crowded every day. I won't be surprised if we don't get the podcast out before someone else joins the race.
Right? We checked it right before we did this, and good Lord, I didn't realize how so many people were running.
Yeah, there's
a
a
goddamn billion.
There's a ton that span back to campaigns starting even in the middle of last year.
Yeah, July 2017.
Yeah.
I mean, and these are like no-name people that like really like. I mean, let's face it. Like, props to you, bro, but I don't think you're gonna run, or I don't think you're gonna make it to fucking, you know, Ohio.
Yeah. Iowa.
Or Iowa, sorry.
Yeah.
But
Well, I love the pushback. To be noted that you probably wouldn't get people like this if we didn't have this disarray, this White House disarray, and this shit show of an administration that we have. You probably wouldn't get this many people, and we're not done getting newcomers to the race. We still have the Bernie prospect, the Biden prospect, a dozen other that may or may not, or floating it. The Bloomberg prospect.
I'm worried about the Bloomberg thing because he has so much money.
I am too. The current mayor of New York hasn't ruled it out either. Bill de Blasio.
Oh yeah,
he's not running, but he hasn't ruled it out.
Yeah.
And it's early. It's still relatively early.
Super early, dude. It's fucking 2019.
Mm-hmm.
It's the beginning of February of 2019.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't even started my taxes yet, and we're already talking about fucking 2020.
I know.
You know, like, fuck, man. Jesus.
In part, probably because this administration is so fucked.
Yeah.
But the most recent out and about it guy to come out is Cory Booker.
Yep. Cory Booker is out and about. He's run. He came out with a really good video. He's done the whole social media campaign thing. He's got a site. He's done the full 9 yards.
Yep. I think he was just getting all the pieces, and he knew he was going to run. He got all the pieces and parts in place to make this thing happen. And I like him, albeit for what he is right now with the field of real prospects that could win probably 4 or 5. There's a lot more than that, as we noted when we looked into it, of who's in the race.
Did we even choose him on our fucking?
No, I don't think we did on our draft.
Yeah, because I think he really kind of like showed himself like as like 2020 shit.
Back when the
during the Kavanaugh thing.
Yeah, he broke precedent with Senate rules. With the rules of the chamber.
Yeah.
And kind of sort of went out there on a limb and could have, by all rights, could have lost his seat for that.
Yeah. I mean, they ended up, like, choosing not to. Like,
because the Kavanaugh thing was such a divisive issue, and it was well thought out, the reasons that he had in place for what he did, but I think I think he even knew at that point that he was probably going to run, and that was a good place to make his stand, his pushback. Yeah. And now he's running, and to me, him and Kamala Harris are probably at this point the front runners. As long as Bernie and Biden aren't in the race, until those two get in the race, Kamala and Cory Booker are probably the front runners.
Really?
To me, right now.
I don't know, man. I'm kind of on the whole woman train right now.
You liking Warren?
I think Warren has more sway than fucking Booker does.
Maybe. I'm just
I feel like Warren has more name recognition. I mean, like, she's got more flubs though. The whole Pocahontas fucking fiasco thing.
Yeah, the DNA results, everything that went along with that.
The diving, like, I mean, her thing. Her diving into the whole fucking mud with Trump and doing that whole DNA result thing.
Yeah. She came out
covered in mud.
Yeah, it didn't work out the way that she intended, or the way that anyone who likes Elizabeth Warren, and the way that the stance that she's taking on a lot of these hot button issues. Whoa. Fire.
No.
Yeah.
We're getting a little snappy fire here. It's a little
There'll be a little popping in episode 13, but that's just the fire keeping us warm. So, Elizabeth Warren, though, I like her a lot. I think Kamala Harris is a more formidable Trump foe.
Well, like,
and she doesn't have the background Pocahontas fucking bully tactic bullshit, wrestle in the mud with a pig, come out filthy thing going on there. You know?
No, she doesn't. You know, and she's come clean from the standard background check, you know, presidential thing that you know every presidential candidate has to do.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like there was some like bullshit about some dude that she fucking had a relationship with back in like 20 years ago.
How she got her start and the risings of her.
Yeah. Like,
I'm not even fucking hearing it.
You know, that's all fucking garbage, really.
I'm not gonna go so far as to say fake news, but come the fuck on, man.
Yeah.
That's not political dirt.
It's really not, and like it got shucked off real quick. Like nobody's really talking about it anymore. But that's the only thing that fucking Harris really has had on her. Other than that, fucking clean slate, fucking hardcore, fucking firebrand type person.
And everything she's standing for in her platform so far, I'm in 100% agreement with. mainly what's really caught my eye for Kamala Harris is her line of questioning towards Trump appointees, towards Kavanaugh, towards all the people that the Senate has been confirming or not confirmed at this point.
Oh yeah.
Is super feet to the fire. Answer it this way. There's not a right answer because you're a shady fuck. You're a Trump appointee, so you're obviously a shady fuck. You're swampy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wipe your feet. It's not going to help, but you should probably wipe your feet at the door.
Exactly. So for that reason, she's my front runner for now. I'm going to wait and I'm going to see if Bernie joins the race, if Biden joins the race. We got a number of other prospects that we're going to be touching on throughout the coming weeks and podcasts.
I'm gonna lie, man. I'm going back to my picks.
I forget what your fantasy picks were. Were you a Beto O'Rourke guy?
Of course, I was a Beto O'Rourke guy.
Yeah.
I think if Harris picks up Beto O'Rourke as a running mate.
Oh, Beto O'Rourke VP.
Yeah, I said Harris Beto.
Yeah, you did. As a matter of fact, now I remember.
Like that's my.
I think that was your like number one.
Yeah, I'm
thing.
telling you, man.
That would be interesting. The message that they both convey, and the platform that they both stand on, to me is, it's really everything you want in a progressive Democrat that you're not going to get with an establishment Democrat. You know, a Hillary Clinton or say Pelosi. She's not even in thinking about it, but if she were to run, there's not that demonization with a Hillary or a Pelosi or.
No. And like you bet your bottom dollar, you got a Beto vice president ticket.
Fucking rock star.
You can fucking kiss fucking Texas goodbye from the GOP.
Oh yeah, that's a blue state now. Sorry guys, that's a fucking blue state now. We got Texas and California. Yeah, you might wanna abolish the electoral college for your own good.
Yeah.
Because you ain't going to win another election without Texas and California. The only reason you win any of them is because you can count on Texas. We count on California and they kind of cancel each other out in a way.
Yeah.
But if we had both of those, that might be the point where the GOP kind of starts to get on this vibe of maybe the electoral college is not the right route for future fucking votes.
Like,
right now they're like, oh yeah, no, we're not touching the electoral college. No way. We would never go to a popular vote. Would you though?
Would you?
If you had a fucking president from California and a vice president from Texas, what would you do then? That's an interesting thought.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man.
Beto O'Rourke has that rock star fucking energetic mentality that
the young fucking poppy type,
not boring,
like,
so charismatic.
Yeah,
he's awesome. I don't want him as a president, but as a vice president, I'm 100% on board.
I could see him as president in like 2026.
2028.
2028.
Yeah, 2024. If Trump wins again. Well, regardless of who wins, 2024.
Like if he goes vice president in 2020.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
4-8.
2028, yeah.
Yeah, 2028, 2032, maybe.
I don't know what I was thinking.
He's still young, so it's fine.
Yeah.
He's got plenty of time if he wants to ever make a presidential bid. I'd prefer him to not do that now unless he's the ticket holder with a rock star like Kamala Harris.
Yeah. I'm telling you, man, I think right there is like is the ticket to fucking like not only fucking America gold, like we'll get somewhere fucking good. Like we'll fucking revamp fucking education. Because Harris is so fucking good on fucking education. She's so good.
Yeah,
and she's got really, really, really good fucking plans on the whole tax thing too.
Yeah, which is what we're about to get into.
We've been tangenting a little bit here.
Yeah.
Let's get back to like.
Well, that's exactly where we're going with it anyway.
Yeah.
So, AOC sparked the conversation for raising the marginal tax rate to be something around 60 or 70%.
Oh yeah, my girl AOC.
Your girl.
My girl.
Well,
not yours.
I like her a lot.
Yeah, but I liked her first.
You're right. But So she's been floating this idea and really sparked the conversation, and kind of the numbers and the facts started to get out there. And I think a lot of America, both Democratic and Republican, realized, hey, we haven't always not taxed the rich. We haven't always given these fucking super lottery tickets to the rich. It was only until the 80s that we started to really cut back on the rich's taxes.
Yeah.
Back before the fucking, if you could MAGA, and if you had to MAGA, you would fucking implement a 60 or 70% marginal tax rate. And that would probably put you in a place that would equal economic and fucking governmental prosperity for everyone across the fucking board.
Yeah.
The way we were in the 50s, 60s, 70s, and a little bit in the 80s before the Republicans ruined everything.
Yeah.
And started giving to the wealthiest of the wealthy, and trickle-down economics became a viable theory that works, that has since been vastly fucking disproven.
I think you need to talk to the fucking, pundits on fucking Fox News, because they still think that fucking, or the pundits that fucking run the goddamn fucking, Senate floor.
Yeah.
Because trickle-down economics is still apparently a thing.
Yeah, but
according to our last fucking tax cut.
Yeah, the big Trump tax giveaway was nothing more than a thank you for your donations, we'll pay you back tenfold.
Yeah.
Over the course of probably a decade or more. But you will get paid back as long as Democrats don't get control, you're going to get paid back.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a lot.
Oh, shit. We're running a little long here.
So the 70% marginal tax rate, that's an AOC thing, but a lot of Democrats are embracing that.
Yeah. And in opposing to that, we got some scared billionaires coming out. Well, a scared billionaire, and that would be Howard Schultz.
Yeah.
The former CEO of Starbucks.
Yeah.
He's decided to run as an independent. And it's all because of AOC's fucking crazy fucking tax plan.
Yeah.
And dude,
he's kind of pushing back on a lot of the democratic principles that I think if you talk to real people, regular people, middle class people, you're going to understand real quick. Not in touch, man. You're not on the spectrum of being in touch with regular people. You talk, in the large part, people are for that huge marginal tax rate. People are for middle class tax cuts. People are for an estate tax. People are for a wealth tax. The type of thing that
one thing
Elizabeth
we didn't
Warren
talk about.
is touching on.
In opposing to all of these big tax hikes on the rich, the GOP has decided to go against that and be like, oh no, let's get rid of the estate tax.
Yeah, we're not doing any of those taxes you want to do. We're killing a tax that you don't want to kill. The estate tax, which is, I think, estimated 2,000 Americans would be affected by the estate tax.
Yeah.
2,000 American billionaires, so to speak.
The majority of Americans that will be affected by that are significantly is 2,000.
Yeah, and the fucked up part about that is we can name a few of them. Yeah. Don Jr., Ivanka, and Eric Trump. Yeah. And whoever Howard Schultz's fucking kids are. If we knew their names, we could name a few more. Find another billionaire on the fucking market, and you could find their kids' names, and you could name a few more.
Paris Hilton is probably on there. That's fucking worried about
fucking
that
ridiculous
shit.
to even target a tax like that.
Yeah.
It's
one of those things, man. But yeah, so Howard Schultz is running on this shit, and fucking Dems are hating on him, GOP's hating on him. It's hard to tell which way he's gonna fucking switch.
Yeah,
or which way he's gonna pull votes, rather.
That's where I worry about a guy like him, is I'm afraid the guy who invented the place that Democrats sit in and work on their screenplays or fucking write the script for the next podcast or fucking dick around and use the free Wi-Fi. the guy who invented that is going to pull more votes from those people.
Is that where you go and fucking work on the podcast? Is that where you go and do our notes?
I wish I had time.
Yeah.
I wish I had time to go and sit in a Starbucks to do that. Unfortunately, I don't, and I do it all at my leisure with you.
Oh, well, I'm glad that you do all of your work at leisure with me. I'm doing this while I'm on the shitter. I'm taking like hardcore, hard-earned time out of my day. Fucking researching fucking stupid, shitty politics while I'm taking a shit.
Oh, you would do it anyway. Even if we didn't run a podcast, you would do it anyway.
You're probably right.
And at least this way, you don't get paid for it.
Well, I mean, that's the whole goal of this, is to eventually get paid.
One day.
Well, I mean, besides the fact that, like, you know, I enjoy talking with you, you enjoy talking with me, and, like, I don't know.
Well, somehow within this conversation,
We hope to inform people, too.
there's some sort of value information in there, and there's value within the conversation, I think, to be taken seriously.
Oh, yeah.
Pull away, the loose ends here and sharpen this up a bit, and we'll get somewhere where there's value to be added. That it's already there. It's just we're working on it for you 7 listeners out there, 8 listeners out there. We're working on it.
4 listeners.
4 this week, I think. Yeah. But that being said, dude, it's been a downer, fucking shitty week of politics. I know you're ready for what's your favorite fucking segment of the week?
Happy science time.
Oh, I know you love it.
Yeah. And we're running long, so we're going to run through this pretty quick. But, why don't you go ahead us up with the first one?
Yeah, this one's pretty cool. I'll just kind of touch on it as expediently as I can here since we're going long. But researchers at the Roslin Institute in Edinburgh, Scotland.
Edinburgh. Oh.
Yeah.
Those Scots. Those crazy Scots.
Those crazy Scots fucking drank themselves some stouts and figured out some crazy shit here. So they've modified chickens, genetically modified chickens, to lay eggs with specific proteins, two specific proteins that I'm not even going to attempt to name. If you Google it, you can go fucking find it if you want, listeners. But
fair enough.
These 2 specific proteins are the best fucking proteins at fighting cancer.
Really?
Yeah.
In Scotland?
In Scotland, yeah. So it's sort of a global science thing, but
that brings a whole new name or a whole new definition to Scotch eggs.
I didn't even think about that. That's nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. But this method that they've used, you've had chickens before and plan on getting chickens again.
Oh, yeah. Point. I miss my chickens, but I love them.
Yeah.
They're fucking amazing.
They lay eggs all the fucking time, right?
Yeah, they're fucking...
So they estimate...
Food-producing little raptors, man.
Yeah, basically miniature food-producing velociraptors.
Yeah.
These little food-producing miniature velociraptors make these eggs with these specific cancer-fighting proteins in them at a 10 to 100 times discount of what a pharmaceutical company could make these exact same proteins. Pretty cool.
That's fucking amazing.
Pretty cool. Pretty viable for a good future.
That is super viable.
A cancer-free future, if you ask me.
Yeah, so what kind of cancers do they, like, fucking kill or fight?
The article that I looked at on BBC didn't specify any specific types of oncological cancer research.
Yeah.
But it's 2 very specific proteins that kind of work in a broad spectrum.
Oh, okay.
On the whole thing, so.
Well, that's super fucking awesome, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to see if I'm gonna get some of those chickens.
No, you can't have the Scott chickens. You gotta have the J chickens. You don't get the good chickens.
Dude. I'm gonna make some fucking Scotch eggs, fucking that fight cancer, man. Fucking.
Then I guess breakfast is at your house from now on.
Yeah. Fucking.
If that happens,
that's the best way to fight cancer is cover it in sausage and fry it.
Then breakfast is here.
Yeah.
Every fucking day.
Every day.
Yeah. What do you got on the agenda today for Happy Science
Well,
Time?
to continue the whole like squishy, like, you know, biology type stuff, you remember when we talked about the whole crispy baby thing, right?
Yeah, crispy babies.
Yeah, so not to be outdone, scientists here in America have been doing the same thing. They've been fucking around with CRISPR.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they haven't made like actual babies though, because like, you know, we take things slow here. We crock pot it.
Yeah, we have like ethics.
We have ethics and methods that the way that you work. So it turns out that we've been working on working on curing genetic blindness.
Whoa. So fucking blind from the get-go, but implant this little...
Yeah, so basically what you do is say dad is blind, mom is not, right?
Right?
So you take the sperm, you put it in the CRISPR machine, and it goes in there and it fucking zips out that blindness gene.
Right. A tiny little segment.
That tiny little segment that fucking says like, oh yeah, hey, yeah, make me blind. So they take that out, and then they let the little spermie go, inject him in, you know, in vitro mode, stick the needle in, shoot the little spermie guy in, and fucking it gets fertilized. And then they wait, and fucking, you know, the cells
They test it
divide
again
a little bit
and find out.
and then they take fucking some of the DNA out, and they start doing the research on it and stuff like that.
To find out if it carries that gene.
Yeah.
Did they-
yeah. So and they're
they
doing
cut
all
it
the
out?
tests though. Yeah. So they're crock potting it, like I said. You know,
Yeah.
they're being low and slow. They're going at like a slower pace, not just fucking like full bore to the max, like fucking mad scientist mode, like fucking China.
Yeah,
boy.
China making super soldiers overnight.
Yeah, not making fucking Captain China's over there.
Right.
But so yeah, so like I mean, this could be really, really great, because like I mean, there are so many genetic disorders that like we've actually isolated already, thanks to the Human Genome Project back in the day.
Yeah.
That like we could get rid of, like, once we like figure this fucking whole like thing out, like that. That's all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, genes. Like if it's a genetic disorder, yeah, it's done.
Yeah.
Gone. Bye.
Yeah.
Adios.
Just fucking go in, cut and snip it out, get rid of it. Next thing you know, there's a 0 chance that you're
Yeah.
going to have a child that is, for now, with this research, blind. But with what this can do, blind, fucking
Yeah.
more or less prone to X, Y, or Z that is
Yeah.
not good.
Obesity, fucking, you know,
Yeah,
bipolar,
heart
fucking
disease.
heart disease, like
Yeah.
so many things.
That's dude, that's the fucking reason I say it every goddamn week why I fucking love Happy Science Time so much. It's not the fundamental of the said topic.
It's the implications.
Yeah, the implications and the broad spectrum of ways that it can go that are going to be
Exactly.
what it can do when it's fully functional. And we're not,
Yeah.
it's like you said, crock potting it and kind of slow testing it and just going.
But I mean, that's what we do here in America, is we crockpot a lot of our shit.
But for good reason. By the time they do get it figured out, it'll be figured out to the T, and there'll be 0 side effects, 0
Sometimes
miscalculations.
Sometimes we put that instead of on low. Sometimes we put that on very, very low. Like we turn it like past the very low. Like it shouldn't go past very low, but sometimes we turn it farther than that.
Yeah.
A little bit. Like sometimes I think we're overly cautious over that.
Yeah. Well, it makes a good case for more scientific funding
Oh yeah,
and more research. It's
100%.
all the time, just nonstop. The money pot should be fucking endless to do these types of things, to find these types of things out, to get to the end solution faster.
Yeah,
You know?
I feel you there. Our next Happy Science Time is something that's near and dear to my heart. Oh, Cassini.
Oh, I know you love this one. I do too.
Cassini.
That's the Saturn exploratory satellite, right?
Yes, it is. And
Right.
we've talked about Cassini I think 3 or 4 times now.
We're not done either. We're not.
Oh no, because like the data is still coming out, man.
Yeah,
I mean,
they're still
like,
working.
It's coming out.
NASA's still working out all the details.
We're getting bits and bobs every now and again, and we got a big one actually this week, and we figured out exactly how long the Saturn day is.
Whoa.
Yeah.
How the fuck did they do that?
Well, you wouldn't think that it would be like a big deal. It's just like, well,
I would think that it was somewhere near an Earth day.
Yeah.
Or near a Mars day.
No, it's not. It's not at all, actually. But the thing is like, it's super hard to tell because, like, unlike Mars, where you can, like, okay, yeah, like, I'll just look at the Mars face and then I'll time it. And then when I see the Mars face in the same spot, yeah, that's a day.
That's a Mars day. Yeah.
You know?
Fairly simple science.
Very simple.
Science we could probably do with a telescope.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And which we have done, tenfold. They've taken like electron telescopes or radio telescopes and fucking every way, shape, and form to fucking, do that shit. They've done it.
Mm-hmm.
But like, same thing with like Jupiter and stuff like that. Jupiter's a little bit different because it has like, it's so fucking big that it almost has like gas continents.
Yeah, yeah. And it's a gaseous planet. So
it's
gas giant.
Yeah, it's a gas giant. But then again, so Saturn.
Right.
But Saturn is different because it's a lot smaller than Jupiter.
But them rings though.
That's the key factor here.
This is where it gets really interesting.
So these clever fuckers came up with not only a new word, but a new way to do things to figure out the exact fucking rotation of the planet.
Mm-hmm.
And what they did is something called chronoseismology.
Oh, pulling out of the Greek gods here, are we?
Yeah, well, I mean, Saturn is Chronos.
Yeah, Chronos.
So,
I like it.
So basically what they did is they took, as the planet rotated, as it did its fucking rotation, right?
Mm-hmm.
There was variations in the rings.
Right.
Like in how they moved and whatever. So like as it rotated, they used that. They used the rate, like the variations in the rings that happened, to figure out exactly how long the day was.
Whoa!
And it was like what was reported was to the second, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was something even like highly accurate.
It's NASA, dude. They got that shit down to the microsecond.
Yeah,
probably.
Nanosecond. But
what'd they come up with?
What they came up with
day?
is 10 hours, 33 minutes, and 38 seconds.
Holy fuck, dude.
Yeah, that's exactly how long a day is on Saturn.
We might not be able to record a podcast on Saturn in one day. We barely record one in one day on Earth.
Yeah, that's true. It takes us a long while to do those. From start to finish.
10 hours, 33 minutes, and 38 seconds? Wow. For me, it is interesting to me, the length of the day, but the way that they got there is the cool part. The variations in the rings as the Cassini, because the Cassini was it plunged into Saturn. It crash land mode, like it's done.
It
that was
never
its
landed.
job. That's what it was intended to do.
It just fucking disintegrated in the fucking atmosphere, man.
Yeah, so its whole job was to observe and then fucking go.
Poof.
Yeah, and for it to find that out before that happened, and now we're getting that data, and the greatest fucking minds on the planet are able to analyze that and figure out things like this down to what we know the second, but what they probably know the micro or nanosecond. That's fucking amazing.
It really is.
Pretty cool.
It's super cool.
Yeah.
But Saturn, it's great. It's a planet, but it's not something we can live on.
No, not
our
viable.
Last fucking,
viability level 0.
Our last Happy Science Time entry has something to do with that's a little bit more closer to home. In fact, it has to do with home.
Yeah.
and whether or not we can live on it in, the next few years, or the next generation rather.
Yeah.
Why don't you go ahead and start this off for us?
Yeah, so Germany. I would say of all places, but I'm pretty happy about what they're doing, and they're sort of leading the charge here. But they plan to eliminate 88 coal power plants and be completely coal-free within 19 years. That's their plan and end goal right now.
That's super fucking great, man. I'm so fucking happy about this.
Be like zero carbon footprint mode.
Yeah.
In only 2 decades. And I think that we need to take a page out of their book, take all the pages of their book, and rewrite the book and do that faster. And all the other countries that, unlike us, didn't exit the Paris Climate Accords need to look and see what they're doing here and mimic that.
Oh, yeah. Because that's one of those things where it's like, well, the Paris Climate Accords weren't binding by any stretch of the means.
Which is why it drew a lot of criticism, too.
Well, yeah, when you're trying to, like, not do the things that fucking the Paris Climate Accord were trying to do, of course that's what you're going to go to. Well, it's not binding.
If
we don't want to do it, but it's like...
If you don't have to, why would you?
Yeah, why would you?
When it comes down to sustainability of the planet over the long course of humanity, you just would.
Yeah, for like
you would do what's in humanity's best interest.
For the like extension of the species, like I feel like that's one of those things where it's just like you should probably do it, but the way that I liken it to is like when you tell somebody. I mean, since it's not binding, so when you tell somebody that you're gonna help them move, so it's like, hey, yeah, man, I'm gonna help you move tomorrow, all right? And it's like, okay, obviously, like if I don't help you move tomorrow, like you're not gonna be like, all right, friendship's done, no more, podcast is over, like I'm done. It's not one of those things. It's just going to be like one of those things where, like, I feel like a dick, and you think I'm a dick.
Wish you would have helped me.
Yeah, like, hey, bro, where were you?
I got through it, but I wish you would have helped me. Yeah. That's very... I love it because that's a great analogy for the Paris Climate Accords. Like you said, not binding whatsoever by any of the nations. Only like 3 nations on Earth, including us, didn't do it. And, yeah, not held... forced mode to fucking reduce carbon or to implement green measures to offset this thing and turn this whole fucking make this planet fucking livable for our kids and grandkids and everyone else. But we're just sort of all trusting each other. The same way you sort of trust each other when you drive down the road, that the oncoming traffic's not going to drive in your fucking lane.
Yeah.
Exactly. We're all just going to do this thing together.
Yeah,
we're just going to trust each other and we're all going to do it together so that we don't die.
Like the whole concept of society. The whole concept of society is to like, hey, we're all going to trust each other, not to kill each other for each other's shit.
Yeah.
That's what society is.
We just won't do that.
Yeah, we're just like...
We don't have to write laws to not do that. We're
laws.
board. We're all on board that we're just not going to fucking invade everyone at war all the time and fucking take everyone's stuff.
Yeah, like I like my neighbor's fucking sound bar. I'm not gonna go over there and kill him and take it for myself. I mean that's fucking society. Yeah. But it's just one of those things, man, where like I'm still super disappointed that we've got out of it, and I think that that whole Harris Beto thing might be a remedy. Huh? They might rejoin that shit.
The pot is still there for us to buy back into.
Yeah.
The Germany, this example of Germany doing this green thing without nobody's forcing them to do that. Nobody's telling them you have to do this by said
all
day.
them.
They said we're gonna do this. 19 years will be coal free.
I think that AOC's new Green Deal is probably gonna fucking put to shame Germany's thing.
Well, I hope so. Well, I hope so in the scenario that a Democrat doesn't win in 2020, but I ultra fucking hope so otherwise, because 2024, man, we need to get to work. 2020, we need to get to work, but in the worst case of scenarios where we don't win in 2020,
dude,
you don't have very much time. Yeah, we need to start now. We're not going to right now.
We're going to do as much as we can.
Not with fucking shit show presidency, we're not. Fucking bring back the climate change. Where's the fucking global warming?
Yeah.
More
coal jobs.
Yeah, we're not going to, it's just not going to happen. It's not in the cards right now. But unfortunately, whoever it is, oh my, that gets us there. We are running a little late tonight. That gets us there whenever Democrats do take power again. I think that needs to be on the forefront.
Oh, most
it's an existential crisis.
That it is.
It's fucking
the survival of the species, man.
Yeah.
I really think so. But that being said, we're going to wrap this up because we have gone extraordinarily too long. We're starting to get into like Joe Rogan levels.
I think we hit a record tonight.
Yeah, this is a record tonight, and which is really ironic because like our rehearsal was like way shorter than this.
Yeah, we shot for about 20 or 30 minutes, way lower than this. And missed our mark by
this is
more than we thought we would. We got into the weeds on some things we thought we wouldn't.
We
do this every time.
We apologize if like you timed this by us because like. You shouldn't. I'm just telling you that right now.
For those of you that couldn't get the full podcast in on one drive to work and one drive back, we're apologetic for that because that's the way I like to get my podcast in. Yeah, and that's sort of what we're shooting for.
That is what we're shooting for. The basic hour. We never reached that.
So here you are on day 2 of your drive to work.
Yeah.
Luckily, we're only a weekly thing, so you have a whole week to digest, compress, think about it.
Yeah, and hit us up.
Dude, that's what we want more than any fucking thing.
Oh, yeah.
Hit us up.
Most definitely. Because, like, we'll shorten everything to make it nice and sweet for an hour. And also get your comments, questions, and everything in between. You know, if you want to make fun of us, that's cool, too. Like, we can take criticism.
Yeah. I'm down for... I'd prefer constructive criticism, but I'll take outright negative criticism.
Yeah, T is a glutton for punishment. He kind of likes it. He's weird like that.
Make fun of me. Tell me how dumb my voice is. Tell me how bad I suck at talking about things.
You do have a pretty dumb voice.
I knew it. I've known it this whole time. I've just been pushing that deep down to not talk about it.
Oh, what? I thought you wanted me to say that. Okay. All right. Well, moving on. You can reach me at Backyard Bull J. And I'm at Backyard Bull T on Twitter. We have the Facebook page, JNT's Backyard Bowl. Yeah. And you can also reach us at jtbackyardbowl@gmail.com. Yeah. All good methods to get a hold of us and let us know. Yeah. And make sure to subscribe, whether you're on Podbean or whatever. Doesn't matter. Just subscribe so that you get the latest episode as soon as we release it. Yeah. It's pretty much every Sunday. Every Sunday. You'll get one every Sunday. Until we Monday expand beyond a weekly podcast, which is to be seen, but perhaps one day we'll get there. We kind of need some viewer feedback to kind of help us out there. So hook us up. Yeah. We're talking to you. Yeah. You. Steve in Sacramento. Yeah. That being said, it's been real, man. Yeah, buddy. See you next week. See you next week.